Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your design for your front HOA. Okay, so I know when we're on site, we talked about Eagleston holly trees. Well, I remembered as I was doing the design today that we did a job about 3 years ago that we had Eagleston hollies at a commercial project, and the reflection from the concrete was burning the leaves on one side of the tree. So I thought in this location, based on how the trees run north-south, it's going to get direct heat reflecting off the concrete from the south. Then it's going to get a ton of concrete heat from the concrete reflecting from the western sun, the afternoon sun. So I did one design with it. Didn't spend a lot of time on it. Just simple fact that it just may not be the best application based on the heat off the concrete. You may want to roll the dice, but what'll happen is a small section of it may turn brown, where you can see the sun hits it just right. It happens from concrete, but we see it more often from light reflecting from windows that have a high film or protection on it from the sun. It reflects that light to mitigate heat from getting in the building, and it'll just cook the plants. Anyway. So this is laid out with Eagleston hollies. I did a simple gravel underneath the trees. We can do mulching around it. What looks good at night, if we had lights in this particular application, would look really good. Then on the ends, I did simple catnip. We just kind of hide the boulder. We put a boulder here. We put a boulder down the end. The boulder's there just to mitigate tractor-trailer trucks from taking out the median, and as well as to stop any vehicles that may run over the irrigation box. It's kind of right in this area. I could put plants underneath here, but I went with the simpler look for this application, just to let you see look number one. I think look number two, so I came up with this plan for a couple reasons. One is because I picked crepe myrtles because you're just not impacting crepe myrtles. You're not going to cook the crepe myrtles. It's a great tree. It does well in this area. We can get ones that are really, really tall. I know the crepe myrtles can stain concrete, but the advantage of crepe myrtles is they do so well in this area, they just won't cook from the heat. A couple other trees we can look at. We could look at putting the Eagleston hollies in this application as well, if that's a tree you like. We could look at doing little gem magnolias as well. May not be the best fit, but I have crepe myrtles in this design. The way I also did it was kind of from a practical safety usage. I picked native Texas plants or plants that are real low water requirement and will withstand the heat of the concrete. So essentially all this concrete is going to heat up significantly. It's going to cause massive transevaporation. This dirt right here causes the moisture to cook out of the dirt. So these plants will withstand that. So the way I did it was at the very end, closest to the street, I did the lower yuccas, these little yellow yucca. It's like a red yucca, but the yellow bloom really pretty. I did a nice little gap here with the big boulder, then catnip on the ends. Or we could do season on the ends, but catnip's a good choice. The crepe myrtle. Then in the middle here, I put pink mollies. These will grow together, kind of a dense, fluffy ornamental grass that develops a real pretty pink bloom in the fall. Super fast growing, super easy to replace if you ever lose one. Easy to maintain. They only need to be trimmed once or twice a year. But the reason I like this application is as people turn into the neighborhood, it is a headlight blocker as they're turning to the right, so it blocks these houses over here. Then as people are pulling up, the headlights kind of gives them a little bit of shield from the headlights. Then I did it in two sections, so one section, two sections. So as they turn, it's kind of blocking the house over here. Then at the end, I just did a red yucca, or we can do yellow yucca again, gravel with a boulder with catnip. So something along this line, I think, makes more sense for your application just because of the heat, just because of the transevaporation, just because they're reflecting the light off the concrete, the heat off the concrete, to mitigate drama with the plants. I think it's just narrowing down the trees you might like in this application. If you really like this application, then I certainly can put plants underneath it, but I really think something more like this makes sense for your particular application. We did a church job a couple years ago that had a median that we basically did something similar, and it looks beautiful still to this day. The median looks really pretty. Stipulation on this design: still needs a functional irrigation system. That's going to be a major impact on what things cost, is to make sure the irrigation system works. This design is not that expensive. These plants are not that expensive. The biggest expense will be the labor, then of course the trees next. We're going to be capped on what size trees we can get because crepe myrtles grow fairly fast, and what flavor you get based on what color bloom you want. The red bloom crepe myrtle is a good choice. Red rocket, they don't get overtly big, and they're not quite as messy as like the white one. The white blooms seem to be the most messy. And the pink blooms, of course, are quite messy. Okay, let me pause there. Let me send you this video and solicit some feedback from you, and hopefully that answers your questions. Oh, this end is the street, so the car is heading towards the road of the highway. So that's the highway on this side. All right, thanks.